Hello and welcome to the Simplify webinar series. I'm David McBee, Simplify's Director of Training and Education. Thanks for joining us on the second Monday of each month for industry news, interviews, product rollouts, and training on all things related to targeted advertising and connected TV. And if you miss us live, you can visit the webinars page of our website at simply.fi/webinars, or request access to Bullseye, our learning management platform, for all of our previously recorded episodes and other valuable resources. It's September of 2022, and this month I'm excited to share with you a new and exciting opportunity that I'm confident that many of you will find a valuable addition to your digital strategies. Friends, today I introduce you to Social Display. Social display ads are authentic recreations of social media posts designed to reach prospects outside the limits of social media platforms. Social display ads can appear on hundreds of thousands of websites and mobile apps where traditional display ads are normally delivered. This provides your advertisers the opportunity to take their best performing organic and paid social media posts, convert them into display ads of all shapes and sizes, and extend the reach of those ads beyond the confines of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Now, we've made it beyond simple to translate social media posts into production-ready, rich media creative, pre-configured for immediate activation in a programmatic environment. Of course, the easiest way to explain what social display is to show you. Here's an example of a social display ad. As you can see, it looks like a social media post, but it's actually served to users in the programmatic environment. That is to say, the ad isn't confined to the walled gardens of social media websites and apps. These ads can appear on any websites or mobile apps that monetize their content by leveraging programmatic exchanges. In this example, the ad is appearing on a travel website. Note that even though this isn't a social media site, the ad retains the social elements that we all know and love. It has the familiar brand avatar and social media name, and even the blue check mark for users that have earned those, along with dynamic social data including likes or hearts and the comment count. The ad even brings in a portion of the original post's caption, and these elements give it that familiarity that we're used to with organic social media posts. Still, at the end of the day, it is an ad, and we want users to click it. So for that reason, we've added a customizable call to action. In this case, shop now. Consider that we see thousands of display ads every day as we surf the web or browse the apps on our phones. Now, if I asked you to name even 10 of those thousands of ads, you'd probably have a hard time with that. Now, chances are you would remember the big brands that use a lot of frequency, and you're likely to remember the ads for things that are relevant to you, things you've recently shopped for or target your exact demographic. For example, as a bald guy, I probably don't even notice ads for shampoo, but I might remember an ad for a barbecue restaurant because that's important to me. Or said another way, our brains have been conditioned to ignore a lot of those irrelevant display ads that we see. But that isn't the case for social media. We choose to view social media posts every day, often multiple times per day. We consciously consume this content, and that means that we pay closer attention to it. When we see an ad that appears to be an organic social media post, even outside of the social media websites and apps, our brains are more likely to notice and pay attention. Social display sells the feeling because we often have an emotional connection to social. Consider how valuable that is for the advertiser who has been struggling to stand out against the hundreds of other ads their prospects are exposed to every day. Now back to the ad itself. When a user clicks the ad or the call to action, they are taken directly to the advertiser's website. In fact, social display ads tend to have much higher CTRs, and some of our brand studies have shown CTR to be as high as 5 times that of a standard display ad. Clicking on the brand avatar, the social data, or the caption will take the prospect to the advertiser's social presence so that they can engage with the ad just as they would if it truly were a social media post. At least that's the choice that most advertisers make. Technically, those elements can be customized to send the user wherever the advertiser chooses, but we have found these to be the most user-friendly actions. We'll go more into how these ads are created and all the options that go along with them shortly, but first, I'd like to talk about how this extends the reach of social media. So I don't know if you've dealt with this much, but I often talk to advertisers about the value of programmatic advertising, and their reasoning for not entering this space is that they have a great social media presence. Fantastic, I say. Social media is great. Most of us have a slight, if not a considerable, social media addiction. There's a huge audience consuming content on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. Of course, it makes sense to promote your brand there. But social media isn't a perfect solution either. It can be oversaturated, for one. Practically every brand is there, and that means your competitors are all there, advertising to the same people that you are. It has a limited audience. You're never going to be able to reach everyone, even if you have the time and resources to be on every social platform. Some people just don't consume social media, or they only check it now and then. The targeting is somewhat limited, and in fact has gotten even more restrictive in recent years. Yes, social sites know a lot about you based on what you post and consume within their walled gardens, and some even integrate with data providers who make it possible for advertisers to target pre-built audience segments, and most have some limited geofencing capabilities. Also, as I understand it, the cost of paid social is increasing. Advertisers have complained to me that achieving their CPA goals on social have become much more challenging of late. In contrast, there are a great deal of advantages that are unique to programmatic advertising. Simplify's search retargeting tactic, for example, leverages unstructured data to reach users based on individual keyword searches that take place outside of the social sites. That means we're able to target individuals based on most of the searches they perform and by looking at the keywords on many of the websites they visit. Search retargeting is one of our most effective strategies, and it simply doesn't exist inside of social media, at least not the way that Simplify does it. Simplify's addressable geofencing, which is a tactic that curates an address list based on over 700 demographic and psychographic variables, targets individuals at the household level. Now, this is a different kind of targeting that is used by social media as well. But most importantly, social campaigns normally only reach users on social sites. Now consider how you use the internet every day. Even if you're a social media junkie who checks your feeds multiple times a day, chances are you're spending even more time on the web outside of these social apps. We're talking about all the things that exist on the web beyond social media. Things like reading the news, checking the weather, looking up the score of last night's baseball game, looking up recipes, doing research, playing games, watching cat videos, catching up on celebrity gossip, you name it. The World Wide Web is a lot more than just social media. Simplify has always believed in and promoted the value of reaching targeted prospects on what we like to call the rest of the internet, websites and apps beyond Google and the social media sites. And for that reason, we believe that placing social display ads in the programmatic environment or the rest of the internet creates a huge opportunity for advertisers to extend the reach of their social media, reaching people on literally thousands of websites and apps across the World Wide Web. Now, another hurdle that advertisers face in the programmatic space is the requirement of creative services. Someone has to build the display ads and/or video creative. These creative units have to be built in very specific formats, follow best practices, and often require the services of a graphic designer. Not every brand has a graphic designer handy or the knowledge to build ads that will be effective, and even those with access to graphic design services may have limited bandwidth or budget restrictions. What if that wasn't an issue? Converting social posts into a variety of sizes of display ads is incredibly simple and something that Simplify's dedicated support team handles on behalf of our advertisers. Advertisers need simply provide the social URL of the post they want converted, and we can quickly and easily create display ads from nearly any social media platform in a plethora of sizes and types, including desktop display, mobile display, and even in-banner video. And speaking of video, because the content posted on social sites has already been approved by the advertiser, repurposing it in the programmatic space eliminates the need for long approval processes. Agency clients. There may even be cases where Simplify can create mock-ups for you to use in your proposals to your advertisers. One other thing before we move on, standard display ads, no matter how good your graphic designer has done on them, need to run for some time before their effectiveness can be assessed. What if an advertiser could leverage social posts that have already proven themselves to be effective, those with lots of user engagement, and run them in the programmatic space? With ad effectiveness already established, the advertiser can be confident in the design from day one, getting kind of a head start on a successful campaign. Okay, in this next section of the webinar, I'm going to give you a bit of a behind-the-scenes preview into how the social display ads are created, leveraging Simplify's partnership with Spaceback. We're going to start with this Simplify social media post on LinkedIn, and we're going to turn it into a recruitment ad. The first step is to simply copy the URL of the post itself to your clipboard. As a Simplify client, you can just send this URL to our support team, but I'm going to show you what they're going to do with it. Now, I'm logged into the Spaceback user interface, and I click on New Creative and choose my social media platform of choice. As you can see, we're currently able to support posts from Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Mine is from LinkedIn, so now I'm just going to paste the URL here and click Import. Spaceback automatically identifies the post type during the import process. However, to ensure it is accurate, you have the option from this dropdown to choose the correct type. In this case, we're using a single image, not the carousel. As you can see, it renders a creative preview within seconds. As I shared earlier, it includes the brand avatar, and it's brought in all the social data from LinkedIn. And we're not done, but it already looks pretty good. Now this ad has defaulted to 300 by 250, but as you can see, all of the standard ad sizes are supported, or you can create a custom size. Before we tweak the ad, we'll name the campaign and choose the destination where we want our prospects to be directed. As you can see, it defaults to the social media post, but most advertisers choose to send prospects to their website. Since this is a recruitment ad, I'm going to navigate over here to Simplify's careers page, and I'm going to copy this URL. Now I paste the URL here and then click this eye icon to confirm the link works properly, and it does. Now for some additional customizations. I'm going to adjust this image so it fits neatly. Now we can use these alignment buttons here or just drag the picture wherever we want it. If the image doesn't fit the shape, it'll automatically fill in the sides or top and bottom using colors that match the imagery. I'll click Creative Preview to see my changes. So I'm not in love with those sidebars for this ad, so I can use these other alignment buttons or just drag the image where I want it. Ta-da! I think that looks a lot better. Now back over here on the left, you'll notice that the text from the original post was imported. Now you can leave it as is or change it to something else. Now while it's tempting to change this to a headline or a call to action, remember the whole point of social display is for it to feel social. So I'm going to leave this alone. But that doesn't mean we don't also still need a headline and a call to action. So I'm going to click Call to Action. Shop Now and Learn More are very popular, so they're right here, but I'm going to click More and see what else is available. Lots of great choices here. And I'm tempted to use Apply Now since this is a recruitment ad, but I happen to know that we have a different call to action on our careers page. See there? And I know there's value in having the ad match the website experience, so I'm going to choose Custom and use See All Positions. I click Creative Preview to see that change. And there's our new call to action button. Notice that it uses the theme colors from LinkedIn. Had our original post been from another social site, this button would look a little different. There is a feature that allows you to change the button and text color, but again, using the social site's theme colors further reinforces the social element of the ad that makes it unique from standard display. Now back here, under Advanced Creative Settings, we have the ability to change the caption length. It has defaulted to 3 lines, but if you want more of the text or more room for your imagery, you can change that. Next is social options. You can choose full social, light social, or simple social. I kind of dig the look of light social for our ad. Next is headline and description. Now let's play with these and see what happens. Now hiring. Click Creative Preview. Okay, so it looks like I need to adjust the image location a bit. Let's try this. Perfect. All right, now let's see what description does. Named best workplace. Click Creative Preview. Okay, I kind of love that, but it's also looking a bit crowded for this particular ad size, so I think I'm going to remove that element in this case. Next, we can display the follower count, or not. That shows up right here under the name. Here is where we can change the color of the button. Like I said, I like that it brings in the theme from the social media site, so I'm going to leave that alone, but you can do with it as you will. The call to action URL is next. This determines where prospects are directed when they click the call to action button. Then you've got this legal disclaimer section, which a lot of advertisers won't need, but should you need it, the content replaces the follower account like so. Now, here you can actually change the brand name too if you like. So if, for example, you have some kind of underscore in your social media name, or maybe your business name is longer than your Instagram handle or something like that, you can customize that here. The final section is for impression tracking and click tracking. These are used when tracking impressions and clicks in a third party, such as IAS, DCM, DoubleVerify, etc. Using this customization, we can append the respective impression trackers and click trackers so that advertisers can pull in data to a third party. Finally, I click on Update Creative, and it takes us to this screen where I can download the ad tag, and I can preview what the ad will look like on my desktop, or on a laptop, or on a mobile phone. And then the last thing I want to show you is that if you want to create that same ad in a different size, we can click here and choose Duplicate. Now I can pick a totally different ad size. Let's see what happens when I choose 300 by 600. Okay, looks like I need to make a few tweaks. Let's choose this side of the image so we're not looking down in the middle of the table. And now that we have a little more room at the bottom, let's go ahead and include our description about Best Workplace by Inc. magazine. And just like that, we have 2 custom social display ads ready to target users in the programmatic environment. Now that you've seen social display, you may be wondering, but how does it work? Well, Simplify had the privilege recently of working with an advertiser who had a large social media campaign, but for some reason had never run ads in the programmatic space. Now, they were concerned that their social media was performing poorly, that they were hitting the same or even a smaller audience over and over, and that while prices for paid display remained the same, their CPAs kept going up. They heard about our social display and were intrigued. After giving us a budget to run a test campaign and asking us to hit the CPA goal that they were struggling to achieve on Facebook, we took several of their best performing social media posts, converted them into social display ads, and ran them in the programmatic space using a variety of Simplify's targeting tactics. How do we do? After running the campaign for 2 months, we were able to exceed their expectations, achieving a CPA that was less than half of their original goal. They were so pleased that they have committed to running a new campaign 5 times the size of their test budget. Bottom line, extending social media into the rest of the internet while leveraging Simplify's advanced targeting tactics worked great for them, and we believe it can work great for most advertisers. Now that we've covered the ins and outs of social display, allow me to leave you with this brief list of benefits before I go. 1. Because our brains are programmed to pay closer attention to social content than standard display ads, the ability to create engaging ads that look and feel like native social media posts helps combat banner blindness. 2. Social-centric advertisers can repurpose existing materials to extend the reach of their social media campaigns into the programmatic environment, reaching a whole new audience of users on the rest of the internet. 3. Likes and comments update in real time on the ad, increasing the opportunity for user engagement and higher than average CTRs, with the added ability to track advanced engagement metrics while unlocking powerful social validation. 4. Because ad creation is so simple, advertisers can easily A/B test across creative types and optimize towards top performing ad creatives. 5. Social display can be created in the most popular banner and in-banner video ad sizes. 6. Social display ads can be used with all Simplify tactics, including site retargeting, keyword search retargeting, contextual targeting, geofencing, event targeting, and addressable geofencing. 7. Ads can be created within minutes from both organic and paid social media posts. 8. Social display isn't expensive. Simplify adds a small margin for social display, but the cost is nominal, especially compared to outsourced creative. Contact your Simplify account manager for details. 9. Simplify's dedicated support team can help create the ads for our partners, update or change them in record time, and in certain instances, we can even provide mock-ups for proposals. And 10, better performance, including increased CTR when compared to traditional banner ads. Brand studies have shown as much as a 5 times improvement in brand lift and consideration. Thank you for joining us today on the Simplify webinar series. For more information on how to take advantage of social display, reach out to your Simplify account manager or send an email to hi@simply.fi. For questions about additional training or education, send an email to training@simply.fi. A recorded version of this presentation will be available on the webinars page of our site at simply.fi/webinars or in Bullseye, our learning management platform. Please join us on the second Monday of each month for the Simplify webinar series. I'm David McBee. Be awesome, and I'll see you next time.